doctor and military officer the subject of arrest warrants in an underage sex ring in Surat Thani. One of those arrested is reported to be the son of a Thai politician. The priority being given to the case and high-profile presence of Police Lieutenant General Surachate Hakparn is all part of a renewed effort in 2022 to root out underage prostitution and sex trafficking rings throughout the kingdom. At a meeting, on Wednesday, of a powerful committee, Deputy Prime Minister Prawit Wongsuwan presided over a commitment from cabinet ministers and senior officials to improve Thailand's rating this year on the U.S. State Department's human trafficking watchlist. An intensive police investigation into a human trafficking network prostituting girls as young as 13 has seen arrest warrants issued for a military officer and doctor in southern Thailand. On Thursday, Thailand's top cop Big Joke or Police Lieutenant General Surachate Hakparn, who undertakes a roving role from Royal Thai Police headquarters in Bangkok, was in the southern province of Surat Thani, where an extensive sex ring involving minors has been discovered and is being rounded up. Picture shows Police Lieutenant General Surachate Hakparn interviewing a 52-year-old suspect in Surat Thani on Thursday linked to the underage sex ring probe. The man told police that he was unaware that the girls he paid to have sex with were underage, but promised to cooperate with the investigation. Instead, police, on the 11th of January last, arrested a woman named as 22-year-old Ms. Narakja on foot of sex trafficking charges in the Waikwang district of Bangkok in a coordinated series of raids on sex-for-sale networks throughout the country. Thailand's top cop and Assistant Police Commissioner Police Lieutenant General Surachate Hakparn was in Surat Thani on Thursday, where police have unearthed an extensive child prostitution racket. The investigation stems from the discovery of a 13-year-old girl found at the Grand Garden Hotel in the centre of Surat Thani on the 9th of November last, who told officials from the Ministry of Social Development and Human Security in the province that she had been recruited to engage in prostitution. Police probe widened after more girls were discovered linked to the same prostitution ring in Surat Thani. This subsequently led to an expanded probe after 5 more girls aged between 15 and 16 years of age were identified as also being linked to the same human trafficking or sex ring. This led police to arrest a woman identified as Ms. B together with 4 associates, who were involved in directing and organizing a sex-for-sale business in the southern province. Police Lieutenant General Surachate arrived in Surat Thani on the 5th of February to help further the investigation, which included calling in more witnesses for questioning and identifying more individuals who have broken the law, including men who paid for sex with young girls and minors. Press conference on the racket given by officials including Big Joke and Surat Thani's governor on Thursday. The top policeman was among a high-powered team of senior police officers and officials including the governor of Surat Thani, Wichwat Jinto, who gave more details about the ongoing investigation and case being built by the police. It was revealed that, in the latest move by police, arrest warrants have been issued for 4 people by the Surat Thani Provincial Court. The names of those accused are being withheld at this point. The charges relate to engaging with and paying for prostitution services, in particular committing indecent acts against children under the age of 15 years, whether with the child's consent or not, and taking such minors from their parents or guardians for indecent activity. One of those charged is the son of a former politician. It is understood that one of those accused is the son of a former well-known politician. Some of those sought are also senior government officials. Police working on the case say the minors engaged in prostitution activities ranged from 13 to 17 years of age. They say that, in all, 7 arrest warrants have been procured so far in the expanding case, with 5 arrests having been made. Officers disclosed that 8 suspects are being probed concerning the ring, with more arrest warrants now being sought. 2 of the suspects, named in the issued warrants, are still at large, and these are thought to be a military officer and a doctor. Some of those arrested are victims of the sex ring, but police are determined to prosecute all offenders. Police Lieutenant General Hakparn made the point that some of those arrested as part of the police investigation were themselves also victims of the activity, but insisted that the law must take its course. He said that the police were determined that all parties linked to the human trafficking offences should face justice without exception. He said that 6 of the girls recruited to engage in prostitution had been operating as part of the ring for over a year. The top police officer took part in the questioning of one of the accused, a 52-year-old man, on Thursday. The man was arrested in the Surachate district of the province and is understood to be one of the customers of the sex ring who paid money for sex with underage minors in the racket run by the woman identified as Ms. B. He told officers that he had no idea that the girls he was having sex with for money were underage and promised to cooperate with the police investigation. Surat Thani Governor Wongsuwan says top officials must be seen as protecting the vulnerable in society. The press conference was also addressed by the Governor of Surat Thani, Governor Wongsuwan, who called on all relevant government agencies to cooperate together to get to the bottom of the matter and bring the offenders to justice. He emphasized that even if the people involved are civil servants or senior officials, as well as private citizens, they must be brought to book. He said that strong efforts must be made to root out human trafficking, which he suggested is perceived by some as benefiting from the protection of officials, but said that those in the civil administration, the police and the military must be seen instead to pursue strict enforcement of the law and protection of the vulnerable. Top committee plots fight back against human trafficking as Thailand seeks higher U.S. ranking. On Wednesday, Deputy Prime Minister Prawit Wongsuwan chaired a meeting of the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Committee where a goal was set to improve Thailand's current ranking on the U.S. Trafficking in Persons (TIP) report. Thailand has found itself on the Tier 2 watchlist of the report and seeks to raise its status to Tier 2 by eliminating the widespread nature of the activity in the kingdom to insignificant levels. After the meeting, Police General Thammasak Wichera, a director of the committee, briefed the press. The Deputy PM had earlier tasked the Immigration Bureau, the Royal Thai Police Headquarters and the Labour Ministry to be central agencies in establishing human trafficking victim screening centres, General Thammasak disclosed. Labour Minister Surachate said his ministry would provide funding and support officials for the campaign, while Digital Economy and Society Minister Surat Thani said his ministry would develop victim interviewing and database systems that are linked to the International Database on Human Trafficking Syndicates to make sure victims receive legal services based on international human rights standards. The campaign is now about 80% complete. We are in the process of renovating the buildings to be used for this purpose, and installing necessary equipment in interview rooms where victims can talk with officials. Ramped up action by Royal Thai Police against sex and prostitution trade with multiple arrests in January. So far in 2022, there has been a noticeable increase in activities by the police directed against human trafficking and the exploitation of minors for prostitution and other sexual offences. On the 11th of January, 4 operations were targeted by a police task force directed by Police Lieutenant General Jirafop Furidej, Deputy Commissioner of the Royal Thai Police in Bangkok, Nakhon Ratchasima, Samut Sakhon and Samut Prakan. In Bangkok, a 22-year-old woman Ms. Narakja was arrested on foot of an arrest warrant, issued on the 10th of January, number 17/2565, for the trafficking of young girls from 15 to 18 years of age for sexual exploitation and prostitution. She was arrested at a condominium complex in the Wai Kwang district of Bangkok. Another warrant, 15/2565, was issued in respect of the same activity and offences, this time against a woman identified as 24-year-old Ms. Sudaporn in the Surachate district of Nakhon Ratchasima province. Similarly in Samut Sakhon, where 26-year-old Ms. Fern, or Ms. Supatra, was arrested on foot of a warrant, 15/2565, issued by the criminal court at the same time. The fourth warrant, 18/2565, was issued in respect of a 34-year-old manager or director of a modelling network in Samut Prakan. Elaborate online Samut Prakan prostitution network operating in Bangkok, where girls sent pornographic clips as part of a recruitment process with agents. Police found indecent and pornographic video clips on the computer of a man identified as Mr. Seren when they raided his offices. The clips had been submitted by young applicants to provide sexual services advertised online and through social media. The sex for sale network, according to investigators working on the case, specialized in recruiting young girls under 18 years of age. It was revealed that a certain Ms. Niracha, or monitor, operated as a broker to refer prospective models to the online service. 3 other suspects were also identified by police in connection with this operation as playing a role. The sex for sale service operated in the precincts of the Bangkok metropolitan area and Samut Prakan. Police seized a computer at the premises of Mr. Seren, who was also believed to be running a lucrative pornography business, and offered his brokers a 500 baht fee to recruit both new models and customers for his sex trade network through social media channels. Police are reported to have filed charges in relation to all parties on the basis of human trafficking, engaging and profiting from prostitution, as well as conspiracy charges linked with human trafficking involving more than 3 people.